Warning, the following broadcast of the Bin It Together podcast starring two of the five more uneducated members of the mediocre chart racing pop rock band Massive Wagons may contain swearing. We apologise if it causes offence. All opinions are our own.
Bin It Together.
Podcast numero uno.
Number one, that
Number
is,
one.
for all you that don't speak German.
All your non-bilinguals out there. That meant episode 1.
Episode 1.
Here we go. Then we're gonna start this.
Maybe we could start by putting our language skills in the bin.
Yeah, well, they already belong in the bin. I'm sure everybody knows. It's
Anyway.
Bin It Together. It says it up there. Look,
You can't read.
For the benefit of those who can't see, if you're not watching it on YouTube and you're just listening on audio, then it does say Bin It Together behind us on a big screen.
It's just the brightness on your telly, or all you're getting is BN it together.
Yeah, you're not getting the eye.
It makes no sense, does it?
Here we go then. So this is our podcast where
It
we
is.
are going to take your.
ours.
It's a truly original idea. Don't think it's ever been done before.
No.
Don't think so.
No, anybody born after about 1999 won't have any idea. Well, we could convince them it's our idea.
Definitely
anyway.
has not happened completely original.
Although it is still on telly, but it's crap.
It is still on telly,
It
but
is.
this isn't on telly, and therefore it's
And
better,
likely never to be.
more underground.
Yeah.
This has Bin It Together,
Where it
where
belongs.
we take your suggestions
Yours.
and suggestions from music industry types, people we bump into, as well as fans of the band, fans of music in general, the public, whatever, and we basically decide whether your suggestion needs to go in the bin or not.
It's basically a direct rip-off of a popular series for
Don't say it.
the 90s.
We'll call it Broom.
Broom 106.
Here we go.
If you like.
So
there you go.
let's fire into it. There's no better. We could sit here explaining
all
the
day.
concept
Till the
all
cows come
day.
home.
Let's just crack on. So who are we going to deal with first?
Who we're going to deal with first?
Yeah, that sounded
like a pair of hitmen.
Sounded a bit sinister.
Who we're
Didn't
going to deal with? He's coming under the cosh first. So we're basically they're going to tell us to put something in the bin, and we're going to, if I can, come up with an argument why it shouldn't go in the bin.
Yeah, that's
basically the long and short of it.
that is the crux
Which,
of it.
funnily enough, is our nickname outside of the podcast. Long and short.
Right, we'll start with one. We'll start with a suggestion from one of our beloved patron supporters,
Oh, God, love him.
our Wagons World supporters on Patreon.com.
Yeah.
This is Gail Foreman, and her choice is
Go on.
manufactured boy bands.
Oh, now that's a good one. That's a good one. That is a good one.
I thought so.
That's a great one. That's a topic for discussion. Manufactured boy bands.
Yeah.
Has she got any reasons, or
Of course, yeah. Sorry.
Or she just hate them?
No,
That's
no,
just
well,
it.
no.
She doesn't-
Maybe it does require some explaining. Sorry. We
I can imagine why.
take your suggestions and 3 reasons why.
All
We
right.
then have to play devil's advocate for those 3 reasons.
Right.
So it's no good saying something like dog shit, because there's absolutely no positives to that.
Unless you collect it, of course.
Yeah, unless you're a dog shit.
Some sort of weirdo.
The white dog shit, that seems to have gone a bit out of
Yeah.
fashion these days. You don't see that anymore, do
Is it
you?
on eBay? Does it come up there much?
No.
Is it increased in
I
value?
remember as a kid walking to school, you'd have to dance around white dog shit all day long.
What, just free what? What is it, like a game you played?
Just don't see it anymore.
Dancing around the dog
Yeah,
shit?
we didn't have a lot of money. Okay, first reason.
Right.
This has gone quite in depth here. They all follow the same pattern of 5 members. The cute baby-faced one.
Let me stop you there. 911. There was only 3 of them.
There was only 4 in blue.
S Club 7, there was 7 of them.
They weren't
Bros.
they weren't a boy band though, were they?
Ross, there was 3 of them.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, all right. Oh yeah, I do apologise. Thanks.
Some number of the
I wasn't listening properly,
S
was
Club
I?
7 gang weren't
All right,
fellas,
right.
were
I
they?
thought you said pop bands, not boy bands.
No,
boy
no,
bands.
manufactured boy bands
Oh,
specifically.
Okay.
So point 1,
Bros. 3 of them.
They basically all follow the same pattern.
Yeah.
5 members, cute one, a good-looking one,
A cute one and a good-looking one.
cute one, the good-looking one. These are separate people.
The sexy one.
The bad boy that maybe has a tattoo visible.
Yeah.
The quiet one, and the one
That's me.
that actually has some talent but would have been better off going solo.
And is he the one that leaves first?
Yeah, that's the Gary Barlow, isn't it? Really, let's be honest.
Was it? Well, I don't know. It's a strange one.
No, Robbie
take that.
Williams,
Williams
actually.
left, didn't he?
Yeah,
And
he
he
did,
made a career of himself. And Barlow was a bit of a plant pot, isn't he?
Bit of a side note. I've read Gary Barlow's autobiography.
Oh, really?
I have, and it's a good read actually. Those years when he's Take That I've disbanded. Going off topic here. Take That I've disbanded, and Robbie's obviously flying high in the charts.
Mates with Liam Gallagher at the time, wasn't he?
He got massively depressed, and that's not. I'm not saying that's why it's a good book, but he gets quite in detail of why It's just quite visceral, actually, how he doesn't hold back, and he's
All
sat
right.
there and he's like eating ice cream on a couch in his cellar or whatever.
In his underpants.
In his underpants, he really
Throwing
is that
darts
guy.
at pictures of Robbie Williams.
And then he decides, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna make a comeback, and then writes pretty much that, what's it called? Beautiful World, is it? The one with Patience on and Shine.
Yeah, right, yeah. That's when they came back, wasn't it?
Comes right to the top. It's a brilliant album. I don't care what you say.
No, it's great
It's a
music.
great
It's great
album.
music. No, you're right. Yeah, there is a great video actually. Not to drag it out too long, of them playing Nirvana. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh yeah, that's proper.
It's on
early, though,
YouTube.
isn't it?
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That's worth a watch.
Yeah, Google that.
Anyway, right. So
digress.
reason one. So they follow the same pattern. Five. Like I don't know. I think the point here is that they've obviously manufactured. They've picked him because he's good looking. They've picked them because they've got a tattoo. They've picked them because they're
Covering all bases, aren't
covering
they?
all the bases.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that just sounds like good sense to me. To be honest, you couldn't have five bad boys, or you'd end up with end up with massive wagons, wouldn't you?
Yeah. 5 ugly mushes.
five ugly ones, and then that
It wouldn't work, would it? You're not going to sell anything, are you?
no. So it's manufactured. That's kind of the point, isn't it? Right. Point number 2. They cause trauma for preteen and teenage girls. Stay on the scene for a couple of years, creating mass hysteria, only to then split up and cause said girls to have a meltdown and act like their world has ended.
I remember first time they take that split up. Yeah, it was very much that kind of vibe.
Well,
yeah.
I don't-
I'm a bit older than you. Remember that?
I don't remember that.
You know, I do.
No,
yeah. Because they were
I-
massive, weren't they? Take that first time they split up. Like,
Yeah, I'd like
huge,
to
really.
take that. But
I'm already 17, family. So.
I don't know. Well, yeah, but
That's part of it. It's the
part
Beatles
of
did
it.
the same, didn't
Yeah,
they?
exactly. Yeah.
The Beatles did the same. Beatles, the Stones.
Tough. That's tough.
Not
tough,
so much the Kinks.
tough to ease, I'm afraid.
That's just how it is.
I can't really argue that. That's just everything in life. There's disappointment everywhere, isn't there? And you're in there.
Fucking hell, fire. That's a different podcast altogether. That's a 2-hour special.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening to this, you're going to be well aware of disappointment.
Yeah.
So,
And
but you can't avoid that. When any band splits up, surely that's the case. The fans of the band are going to be,
Mortified.
if they happen to be kind of teenagers, like you say. Well, you've got to learn these things at some point, haven't you? So,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You got to rip the posters down sooner or later.
Yeah.
And yeah, chuck them in the bin.
Yeah. Not doing so well here, Gail. I'm afraid.
No.
Number 3. Just as you hoped they disappeared forever, they do a reunion tour, and the girls who were fans the first time round, and boys, I'm sure, go through it all again, but include their daughters/nieces, and double the trauma at the next split. I don't know about that, really.
It's all a bit... Yeah, I get what you're saying, but who cares? Who cares?
Manufactured boy bands, you're right.
They have a place, don't they?
Yeah, and I think you could have. I think Gail, you could have gone with better reasons here. I think there was more damning reasons to put them in the bin. What you've just said, basically. Point number 1, I take your point. They're very obviously manufactured. That's the point. The music can be good, but in fact, it's been kind of engineered.
The thing that stinks a little bit about them to me is the fact that not manufactured boy bands, it's manufactured music, is become it wipes out, has the power to wipe out everything. Unless you're in a manufactured band, you're not going to make it big overnight.
True. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Manufactured music is basically like selling. It's like marketing food. It's like cars. It's like clothes. It's anything. It's marketed. Most of your rock bands they've all been around for 10, 15 years
organic,
before they
isn't
go anywhere.
It's very organic. It's a much more organic way. Whereas there's so much going on behind the face of it.
It's a business.
Yeah, it's business. Yeah, and you get these 5 guys or gals or whatever together, and then there's so much happening behind the face of it. Record labels and deals with TV shows and all that, and festival slots. It's
That's it's not so much the manufactured bands. It's the people behind it. They're the
scum.
They're the fucking problem, aren't they? Eh?
Right. Well, is that going in the bin or not?
Because don't get me wrong. If the good music's good music, isn't it? And
Exactly.
take that. We'll take that manufactured.
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. We've kind of
With a
Gail at no point mentions.
No, I didn't. No.
So
We're gonna have Barlow's going to be down here, and he's. What you doing? Is it you, lads, massive wagons? You're slugging me off on your shit podcast. Don't worry, Gary. There's only about 4 people watching.
Yeah, don't worry.
About it.
It's all right, Gaz.
See you in court.
Checks in the post.
Yeah, 40p.
He's yeah. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards not.
And they serve a purpose, don't they? That whole business serves a purpose. You can't have something to rally against, haven't you? You've got to have something. They're a great thing. It's a great thing to whine about.
This many people can't be wrong. Basically, you know, if it really was that bad, then people wouldn't buy it, and these things wouldn't exist.
And these songs do these. I mean, she said manufactured boy bands. I mean, I think beginning to think she did mean manufactured bands. You can't.
No. We have to take this specifically.
Boy bands. So that's even weaker, then, isn't it? I mean, that's even crap. He could have said manufactured music. It could have had more of an argument for that. Clout. Choice of word there.
I've had more clout. It's not just boy bands. Is it going in the bin?
No.
I don't think so.
It's not going in the bin.
I've got a sound effect lined up for things that do go in the bin, but I don't have one for things that don't go in the bin. How do you make that a sound effect? This is the sound effect of something not going in the bin. Surely it's just nothing.
Yeah, I don't know really. What could some ethereal bell angel type singing?
I've lost it.
He's gone.
Yeah, well, I'll
It's
sort
only
that out.
episode 1. Been taken off here.
It might. Right. Okay. It's not going in the bin. Sorry, Gail.
It's not Gail. That's the end of it.
Sorry, Gail.
Next week we'll have a sound for. Next time we do this.
For something not going in the bin.
Something not going in the bin. You can go back in the cupboard. I
Right.
don't know.
Let's move on.
Oh.
Right. Okay. So we got time for one more. Who've you got lined up?
Oh well, now I've got to be honest. I was a bit unaware of the rules, and I did ask. I've asked some of my celebrity pals to send some suggestions, but I didn't ask them 3 reasons why.
Right. Oh well.
Because I didn't realise, to be honest. I didn't get the memo. It's my fault. But I did ask. I got an interesting one from. We can do a couple.
Yeah, of course.
We'll do a couple. We've got time.
This way, yeah.
I've got an interesting from my old mate Dave Ling, Mr. Dave Ling.
Dave Ling, right.
Absolute legend in the rock metal world.
Journalist supreme,
extraordinaire,
He's
supreme. Yeah,
they've got to the point now. These journalists who were kind of around in the 80s and whatever, they're almost like rock stars themselves.
Oh
aren't they?
yeah. Malcolm Dawn,
Jerry Ewing,
Crusher.
These people.
Dave Ling. They're like, to people like us. They're and your dad and his mates and stuff especially. They're the guys that they worshipped in these magazines back in the day.
Their word was gospel back in the day. Like.
And it's really cool to be talk to Dave Ling actually about these things. But anyway, I asked him for any suggestions, and all he said was, "Has anyone chosen those motorised fucking scooters? I want to kill the lazy, reckless cunts that use them."
don't hold back, Dave. Bloody hell.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fair...
Yeah.
Okay, mobility scooters then.
Not mobility scooters. No, not mobility scooters. I think you mean... Does he not mean like the electric scooters?
Electric scooters?
You know, like you see whizzing through towns?
Oh, they're like...
I don't think he means... I don't think he means mobility scooters.
I was going to say
Maybe he does, I don't know.
That's doubly harsh.
I never got that from... I thought he meant...
Probably does.
Yeah, we were in Southampton, weren't we? And the place was awash with them. I don't think I'd ever seen them because they don't have them in Lancaster. I've never seen them in Lancaster.
No.
They have them in Manchester, but I've not been in the middle of Manchester for a long time. And we were in Southampton, and you're walking up the pedestrianised zone, and it's like these things are fast, man.
Yeah.
They're doing they must be doing 15, 20 mile an hour just with some absolute scrote riding around on it, just weaving around the round you like that, and then they just fly out into traffic in front of buses.
Yeah, they were pretty reckless. A good use of the word awash as well, by the way.
Awash, yeah.
Southampton, but for some reason that town really was. It was littered with them.
It was.
And I think it's like he says, the people that use them are generally able-bodied. You know, it looks like you don't need that. Yeah. But I don't know. These must exist for a reason. It must be like some public transport alternative.
I think they're a great idea. But I don't understand why they have to be so fast, and there just seems to be no regulation with them. No. Do you remember a few years ago there was when all the kids were getting them like battery cars for Christmas, like you sit in like a Jeep, and then there was like a big clamp down on them. Police were going, you can't use them on the pavements. You can't use them on the pavements. You can't use them anywhere in your house. So that's it. They do about 1 mile an hour. Little Barbie Jeep.
Yeah.
And then there was them what else was there? There was something else that kids were using, like a battery-powered Christmas thing, and they were a craze. And it's like, you can't use these things. But it seems perfectly acceptable for people to be able to charge up these scooters.
Yeah.
And just race around wherever they want. With no helmet on, or...
Yeah, it's not regulated. Maybe there is an etiquette that I wasn't aware of.
It sounds like someone's dad.
No, but maybe like... I'm pretty sure there are rules. You shouldn't be using them on pavements, but the point is that...
No one gives a fuck.
Everyone was, weren't they?
Yeah. And nobody regulates it, do they?
No.
And while we're at it, the electric push bikes. There's a team of them little fuckers that ride around where I live. Right? Them electric bikes. They're all dressed in black. Right?
Yeah.
The trackies tucked in the socks. With like balaclavas on.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. There's about 3 or 4 of them. They all race around together. They do about 50 mile an hour, them things.
Like Lost Boys?
Like the Lost Boys, yeah.
It's like if...
I know we strayed a little bit here, haven't we?
Someone from the 80s has gone forward and expected some Back to the Future type thing, hoverboard. It's like they've got a shitter version of that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, nobody cares. Nobody bothers about, like, they just race around on these things.
I've got...
Tearing the pavements and like, terrorising folk.
I think there's a good, strong case here. I think they're...
Yeah.
I think it could be done better. I think they're rubbish.
Unless Dave does, of course, mean people who...
can't walk.
Can't walk to shops. I don't know.
What was the exact word?
I don't think he does. He can't do. Hold on, let me read it again.
Come on, we need to read that again.
We need to read it. Let's read it. Let's analyse it carefully. No, he's right, yeah. Has anyone chosen those motorised fucking scooters?
Yes.
Yeah, no,
motorised scooters. No. Yeah, that's fine.
He doesn't mean
the
elderly and infirm.
I heard mobility scooters.
Oh, see. As soon as you said mobility, I did doubt whether I'd read it right.
No, that was me.
No, he's I think...
yeah, well, I think he's got a point here. They are basically just
what's wrong with walking?
What's wrong with walking?
Because they don't go very far.
Are you in that much of a rush?
Just walk.
Can you not wait 5 more minutes for your pumpkin spice latte?
Those and not only the motorised scooters, yeah, those and most of the people that use them need to go in. Because they're just fucking... It's reckless. It's reckless. They're going to kill... You're going to hurt someone. You're going to kill someone. Unless it's yourself, don't bother.
Right, I think we know. I think we know where this is going.
We know the answer is, don't we?
It's going in the bin.
Good one, Dave. I mean, he's always been there, Dave, hasn't he? I didn't doubt for a second.
So there we go. Got 2 done. I think we'll leave it at that for this week. We've got 1 in the bin, 1 not in the bin.
I feel positively lighter.
It feels...
Good.
It feels like even. I think it feels like a good place to leave it.
Liberated.
But so if you've got any suggestions, send us an email to massivewagons@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Put bin it together in your header, in your thingy, your subject line, so we know what it's pertaining to. Because we just get that much fan mail.
Don't just send an email just ranting, or we might just think he's some sort of maniac. Yeah. It has to have a title.
We need 3 reasons as well. That's specific. You're limited to 3.
Yeah.
Like a genie.
I'll up my game and get some reasons off these people I've got. I never even thought of 3 reasons.
That's all right. No, that's fine. Because we need something to fire back with. Yeah,
of course.
And it needs to be, like we said before. Don't go giving us Hitler or anything like that, because it's going to be hard to
dog shit.
It's going to be hard to kind of defend things like that. So it's got to be something that
unless it's white dog shit, of course.
White dog shit is
sorely missed apparently.
It is. Well, I just wonder where it's gone. I don't really miss it.
All right. That's the impression I got.
Let us know. Let us know. Anyway, so send us an email, leave a comment. We'll scan through them, and see you next week.
Hope nobody's been offended by this podcast.